Monday Night Football, the Minnesota Vikings, led by Dalvin Cook and Kirk Cousins, travel to Chicago to take on Justin Fields and the Bears. Now, right now, the Vikings sitting at 6.5-point favorites, over under 44.5 points. And right now, I got my favorite player prop, spread pick, and same game parlay coming your guys' way. But first, consider clicking that subscribe button down below because right now, as I record this right before Sunday Night Football, we have brought out the brooms on the books so far this week. We are 7-0, and hopefully we can continue going this far. And we're just past 16,000 subscribers, closing in, moving quickly towards 17,000. We appreciate all you guys' love and support. Not only that, we cashed our plus 240 money line parlay on Sunday. It's been a great week so far for the call on our shot community. Now you might notice we have 2 games on tomorrow, and we'll do separate videos for those most likely later on tonight, Monday night. And then we do have another game on Monday night, Browns versus Raiders, but honestly, I consider making a video for that one. But sometimes the best bet in the game is no bet, and all the injuries in that game, I want to stay far away. So unless something changes, we won't have a video for that one. Now, my last note before we get into it, we have exclusive sign-up bonuses for a bunch of different sports books, whether it's FanDuel, DraftKings, BetMGM, Caesars. All of them are down below. First link in the description, dimers.com/COS. You could check them out. Now, finally, our last note, actually. Today in the NBA on Monday, we'll do our $16,000 parlay in honor of 16,000 subscribers. If it cashes, we're giving away half the winnings to all of our subscribers. So make sure you click that subscribe button. It's 100% free. Click that like button too and share the video with a friend. Now let's waste no more time. Player prop time. And it pains me to do this because I'm going to give you a prop that doesn't have a line. But I want you to listen and then we'll wait for the line as the books come out. Because as I record this at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, we don't have a line for this, and it's Dalvin Cook over in rushing attempts. Now, the line I would like is anything below 20.5. If we can get 20.5, I'll take that line. 19.5, even better. Anything above that, we'll have to consider it. Now, I expect a very similar game script tonight as we saw with the Colts with Jonathan Taylor. We took his over 18.5 rushing attempts. Whoop, no sweat bet. He had 18 in the first half, and eventually ended up with what, like 27, 28 touches. Now, personally, I will update whatever I bet at the pinned comment section below. So if you haven't seen it updated, let me know what the line you see, and then I'll update it depending on what line we get. And like I said, 20.5 is a sweet spot. Anything lower, we're all in on it. Now, if you look at it, Dalvin Cook, the last time we saw him, Thursday Night Football against the Steelers, the man was running up and down the field. 27 carries, 205 yards. Over his past 4 weeks, he's had 27, 19, 22, and 24 carries. The clear workhorse back for this Minnesota Vikings offense. They're on the road, and they're going to be without his backup, Alexander Madison, today. Now, they did complain, or did not complain. They claimed Wayne Gallman off waivers, and the backup right behind Madison, can't pronounce his name. He's still with the team, but still, the Vikings love having a true workhorse back. Don't see them involving the other 2 guys. Now, Dalvin Cook, he has a great, solid track record against this Bears team. In the last 2 games, both last year, he had 30 and 24 rushing attempts, and so he easily cashed whatever line they're going to give us today because I do not expect a line like 23.5. That should not be a line we get. And if it is 23.5, we're not taking it. Now, in addition to that, Monday Night Football, someplace Kirk Cousins has struggled. Like, he has struggled on primetime games. He's actually 1-9 straight up as a QB, as a starting QB on Monday Night Football. I just don't see them putting the ball in his hands a whole lot tonight. You look at it, this could be a positive game script for the Vikings. They are 6.5-point favorites. Adding on to that, the Bears have the 10th lowest time of possession in the NFL. They've convert third downs at the 4th lowest rate in the NFL. So this team's accustomed to getting on the field, right on off the field because they do a lot of 3-and-outs. That just means short drives, more possessions for Mr. Dalvin Cook to feast, and I think he'll get going today. Now, the Bears have surrendered 20 or more rushing attempts to 5 of their last 6 teams that they've played. You look at Cook, he's going to handle the lion's share of the backfield touches, and I think he'll go over this line. So we'll take his over, whatever the rushing attempts line. I will update it in the pinned comment down below. Let's move on to a spread pick, and it's really spreading over-under because we've been crushing these teasers. 2-0 on the week, so let's go to 3-0. Kind of, you might have to enter it as a same game parlay. We're doing the Bears plus 14.5 and the over 36.5 points. Now, I understand the lines are not that. These are actually, I bought 8 points each way. The odds are minus 130. But personally, let's talk about each of these. And if, you want my official leans for each side, I normally would lean the Bears. I probably lean the over. But that's why I've, bought points both ways because the sports books, super sharp this time of year. Now, I like the Bears to win this game earlier this week. They've had a ton of injuries, and we'll talk about them in a second. So I don't know if they'll win this game outright, but the Vikings are allergic to winning and blowing out teams. They refuse to do it. They've been in 10 straight one-score games, and I believe they're 2 away from setting the NFL record or tying the record for the most consecutive one-score games being in. Like I said earlier, Kirk Cousins has struggled on Monday Night Football and in primetime in his career. He's 1-9 straight up on Monday Night Football, and while I'm not saying the Bears will win, you're giving me 14.5 points in this teaser/same game parlay. I'm all in. Plus, Justin Fields has played well on Monday Night Football in his one career start. I believe it was against the Steelers. Looked pretty decent. They had a chance to win that game, ended up losing by I think 2 points, but still look pretty good. Now I'm taking the over 36.5 points because the regular over under 30 or 44.5 points in those two teams. We're missing a lot of starters and the defenses are not all that good. Now the Vikings defense has been great at home. On the road, Not so much, as they're currently giving up 28.9 points per game on the road compared to just 23.8 at home. And then you look at the Bears side of the coin, they're missing their 2 starting cornerbacks and their 2 starting safeties. So they're going to be down a lot of guys in that secondary. And that's what I think will also play into Dalvin Cook's advantage, because you can't load up the line if you got a lot of guys inexperienced on the back end, don't have a lot of playing time with each other. I think they'll kind of play more 2 high safety looks. Should see Dalvin Cook feast on the line of scrimmage. Now, knowing this, the Chicago Bears, they'll give up some easy touchdowns. That's what they do. So do the Vikings. You saw the Steelers be able to go up and down the field in that fourth quarter. Wouldn't surprise me. So I'll take both these 2 legs. Bears plus 14.5 over 36.5 points, minus 130 odds. I'll lay a little bit of juice. I'm in. Let's move on to a same game parlay. We're only going to have 3 legs in this one. We don't have any alt lines at the moment, but I'm going to say Darnell Mooney over 51.5 receiving yards, Justin Jefferson anytime touchdown, and over 36.5 points. So plus 239, and coincidentally, plus 239 is the exact same odds that we cashed our money line parlay on Sunday with, which was an absolute shocker. I mean, we cashed our final leg with the Packers, and with that 2-point conversion, we'll take it. We won't complain, but you look at these 2 teams and look at these legs. Let's talk about Darnell Mooney. Now, the Bears, they will be without Allen Robinson, also Marquise Goodwin. And yeah, that's enough to say, because Darnell Mooney has a pretty good connection with Justin Fields. He's been playing pretty well with him on the field. And I just think, no pun intended, I think they'll be able, the targets are going to funnel to Darnell Mooney. Should be able to get deep on a Vikings defense that has really struggled all year, giving up points, that have given up yards at a premium against wide receivers. I think they're giving up their 32nd in fantasy points given up to wide receivers too. Darnell Mooney should be poised for a big day against his Viking secondary. Justin Jefferson, anytime TD. Now I like this too. It's like minus 150, minus 170 alone. Now we looked about it. I already talked about the Bears secondary. Completely banged up, missing their starting 2 cornerbacks, starting 2 safeties. They're going to be banged up, but Jefferson scored a touchdown in 3 of his past 4 games, and he scored 8 touchdowns overall on the season. I do not necessarily know if Adam Thielen will be out there today. He is currently questionable, but if he is, it doesn't matter. I think Jefferson can get into the end zone. This is what he does, and against his bad, depleted secondary, I think he'll be able to get into the end zone at least once today, maybe even twice. Who knows? It's Monday Night Football. Expect the unexpected. Now, the final leg, over 36.5 points, the identical one that we have in our teaser earlier where we bought the line down to 8 points. You already heard me talk about this Vikings defense, terrible on the road. I don't know the exact over-under splits in terms of, but earlier in this season, like at week 10, they had cashed every single over on the road and every single under at home. Obviously, they're on the road, taking on the Bears team. I don't know, weather should be crazy tonight. We should have a clean game, like in the 40s in terms of weather. I like both of them, 36.5 points. Not asking for a whole lot. It is Monday Night Football. You know about Monday Night Football. Expect the unexpected, because that's what's going to happen. So I'll ride with those 3 legs, plus 239 value. I love it. Now, stay tuned. Pin comment down below will be the Dalvin Cook line. If I have not pinned it and you don't see it there, it says Dalvin Cook over 19.5, 20.5 rushing attempts. Let me know the line you see, because I might just have not checked the books. I'm not just sitting there clicking refresh. But I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Subscribe if you guys are new. If you enjoyed the videos, consider sharing with a friend. Click that like button too. We'll have some more videos tomorrow or later tonight, Monday night, probably towards halftime for the Tuesday games. It's a wild week in the NFL, but hopefully we continue to make you guys some money. So this has been Austin. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.